The following program is intended for informational purposes only and not as a standalone training tool. Please refer to the Flexco website and other Flexco literature for detailed instructions.
Make sure that the pulley has been prepared properly. All lagging must be removed and the pulley sandblasted, including the edges of the pulley. Immediately following the sandblasting, a metal primer should be applied to the surface of the pulley. Make sure that you also paint the edges of the pulley with the metal primer. Once the pulley is completely dry, you can cover the pulley with a cloth or begin installation of the lagging. It is important to protect the pulley surface after it is prepared. Also, never touch the primer coat or coats of adhesives on the pulley or lagging with your hand. This may transfer contaminants to the surface, causing problems with the bond in the future. Cut the wrap off of the sides of the rolls of lagging and use a grinding wheel to rough up both edges of the lagging strip. To get the best bond, buff the bottom sides of the strips of lagging also. Some people prefer to buff the edges after unrolling the strip of lagging. Either method is fine. When you are ready to begin, mix the adhesive and coat the entire pulley face with the first coat of adhesive. Use a short bristled, stiff brush for this, working the adhesive into the surface. Also, coat the buff bottom and edges of lagging, allowing the first coat of adhesive to dry completely. This step can be performed at any time. For example, you can paint the strips of lagging in the shop, place wax paper between them after they have dried, and later move them on site. Draw a line across the face of the pulley perpendicular to the direction of rotation. Here, we are using a level to determine this perpendicular line. You may select an alternative option. Do not contact the pulley surface. When the appropriate tackiness of the adhesive is reached, install the first piece of lagging using the line that is drawn on the pulley surface. Use a stitching wheel to stitch or roll the lagging into position. Use a dead blow hammer, rubber mallet, to make sure that all air pockets are removed across its entire length. Place the second strip of lagging against the first piece, making sure to stitch the edges of the lagging together. Use a pneumatic sand rammer to make sure that all air pockets are removed across its entire length. From this point, continue around the pulley, estimating the area of 1 to 2 strips, painting with adhesive, applying lagging, etc., until you have 3 or 4 strips of lagging that is not installed. At some point during installation, you must cut off the material that is overhanging the pulley edge, making sure not to loosen the lagging. Cut off only the pieces that have been installed the longest. Take several pieces of these cutoffs and see how they fit onto the remainder of the pulley. Trim the remaining pieces as equally as possible, making sure that they fit into the space left over. Remember to buff the trimmed edges of the lagging strips. We always recommend that you test the fit of the last piece before applying your adhesive. Use a rubber filler to fill any gaps in the seams of lagging. Check the manufacturer's directions for the drying time required before putting the pulley to use. Store the pulley properly. Never support a pulley on its surface. Never roll a pulley on its surface. If you are not going to put the pulley into service very soon, wrap it in paper to protect it.
Flexco, your partners in productivity.